And you have the hypothesis here. They are presented in null hypothesis form. This is how you describe the mean percentage score of students' achievement taken from DepEd Memorandum number 160 series of 2012. So you're going to use this one in interpreting the level of achievement of the students. Then for the students' interest, it's taken from the study of Luttrell et al. In 2009, and you're going to determine the level of interest this way. Okay, so you have already the table here, table 1. You only have to complete the table, no? So nanadahay naka-plaster nga table. So atong i-review so that we'll have uniform figures. Let's have share my Excel file. Can you see my Excel file now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So we're going to compute for the mean percentage score for the pre-test and the post-test for both experimental and control group, first trial run and second trial run. So I already have the Excel here. So just a review. I'm sure you already have computed this one. Let's just review our procedure in computing for the mean percentage score. So step 1 will be computing for the average. So I'm positioning my cell on pre-test, experimental group, first trial run, ha? So this is pre-test, first trial run for the experimental group. So again, Sir Steven, kindly dictate how to compute for the average. What will I click? Sir Brendan, what should I click? Hello? Ma'am Marie, unsa i-click na ko ma'am to compute for the average using Excel. Laka, madugay man taan ni.
Sir,
Average.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Equals, sir, then average.
Insert function, then average. Insert function, then average.
then okay. Then, dito sa unang data, ganito ng shift. Then, add to sa pinaka-last nga number. And that's it.
So pila ang average na to for the pre-test and the experimental group, first trial run?
5.23.
Do you have the same figures there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then i-drag na lang nako siya to the right. Drag to the right para na ako'y please mute yourself. Kinsa man ning kuan. Okay, so nana ko'y 5.23 nga kung i-hide ha for a while para so I have here, I'm showing to you now the the computed mean percentage, mean score for pretest and the experimental group. Let me check now. Okay, yan. For the pretest and the experimental group, the mean score is 5.23. The post-test is 16.13. The pretest for the control group is 6. For the post-test one for the control group is 13.67. Then and so on and so forth up to the second trial run. Compare with your figures kung sakto ba. The next procedure will be computing for the mean percentage score. Pila gani atong total score ani nga test?
20, sir.
20. So to compute for the total score, 20 ba naka-indicate dito sa ato ang data set?
Yes, sir.
20, okay.
20,
So,
sir.
position ko sa A33, naka-position ko sa A33 ha. Tapos I'll click on the formula bar. Then I'll type there manually equals. Okay. Equals, tapos to compute for the mean percentage score, you only have to divide the mean score divided by the total score times 100. Mean score divided by the total score times 100. That's the mean percentage score. So that is 5.23 divided by 20, which is the total score, times 100. So how do we set that one in a formula here in the formula bar? I'll just click 5.23. So A32 will be detected there on the formula bar. Tapos, divided by
20.
20. Para ma-follow ang PEMDAS nga rule here, ibutang sana ko siya og parenthesis so that it will be divided first. So that will be 5.23 divided by 20 times 100. That is how you compute for the MPS. Again, take 2 to compute for the mean percentage score to describe the level of achievement of the students. You only have to divide 5.23 divided by the total score, which is 20, then multiply it with 100. That will be the MPS. So the MPS is 26.17. Do you have the same figure in your computations there sa table 1?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so ako i-drag na lang dito sa right. I-drag na ko sa right. Then we already have the mean percentage score. Kanira man nato i-report ito sa table 1. Then ako ni siyang i-cut ha para mabalhin ako dito sa Word file so that we can transfer this one in our Word file for table number 1. Okay, table number 1. So ato na to ibalhin diri. So this is for the experimental group. 2617 lagi ni 21. Dili man 20, murag 25 man guro ang total score ani. Dili lagi pareha og kuan. Teka ha. Wala dyan. Naka-indicate ba rin sa file nga kung gi-share sa inyo nga 20 ang total score?
Yes, sir. Nasa pinaka-top.
Yes, sir. 20 points.
Dili pareha og ano, figure kay awa ko ang gibutang diri sa table 1 no. 21% ang pretest experimental group pero what I had computed here is 26.17. Then for the conventional group is 80.67. Gibutang na ko diri nga 20. Dapita nga page, ma'am.
First page, sir.
Nasa taas, sir. Itong flip classroom.
Ay, lahi ni siya nga data set. The same data set pero gi-indicate ako nga 20 siya, no? Sige, 20. Kaya I suppose, kuan ni siya ba? Ako na ko, i-check na ko balik ang kuan. So 20 man ka inyo ang nakuan tanan na nagamit. 20 kay mura og 25 ni siya ba pag compute nako diri. So never mind na lang that 25, follow taning 20, so i-change ta ni tanan. Naka kuan man niyo, naka unsa na whole number ang MPS, whole number sa nato ang MPS ha, para diretso na ta, dili na ta mag run off run off. MPS Do you see now my Excel file?
Yes, sir.
Sir. I-change na ko ni, instead of 20, change na ko 25. Try sa na ko change 25 ba? Adara o. 25 ako ang gibutang diri nga data. Para ini katong 21 dito, ini round off na to niya, may mo siyang 21%. So since na ay data set dito nga 20 ang atong total score, i-20 na lang po nato ni para uniform na tawag answer. 20. So 26%, drag na lang dito sa other side. Ayan. Dayon, I'll cut this one para na ako'y quick guide dito for the data in the Word file. Okay. So pila ato ang kuan? MPS for pre-test 1 experimental group.
26, sir.
26. Dayon post-test
81, sir.
81.
teka ha. 81%. Copy sa na ako niya para dali. 81. For the control group, test is
30.
30%. Then for the post-test,
68%.
68%. Then pila man ang increase ani? From 26 to 81. Pila ang increase of the mean percentage?
55, sir.
55.
55.
Then from 30 to 68,
38,
88.
sir.
38. So, asa mas dako og increase? Ang experimental group or ang control group?
Ang experimental, sir.
Experimental group,
Dako
sir.
og increase sa experimental, no? From 26 to 81, then from 30 to 68. Let's have the second trial run. Second trial run, pila ang MPS for the experimental group?
27, sir.
27. Post-test,
75.
75. Then, control group,
27, sir.
27.
sir.
27. Then,
60.
60. Let's compute for the increase from 27 to 75. Pila ang increase?
48, sir.
48, sir.
48. Then on the other side, from 27 to 60,
33, sir.
27 to 60, that's 33%. Ayun, ato ta sa interpretation. Kaning 26%, how do we interpret this one? At diri nakabutang sa scale sa ubos, oh.
Low, sir.
By the way, sa APA bitaw nga table, let me just orient a little bit sa APA nga table ha. We are following sa St. Columban College. We are now following APA 7th edition. So for APA 7th edition, table 1, this is naka-bold ang font, palay period, tapos nasa ubos ang title sa table, then naka-italicize siya. Please follow this one para maanad na mo sa APA 7th edition. Table 1, naka-bold. Tapos, sa ubos, nakabutang ang level of students achievement, nga title of the table. Tapos, left aligned na siya, italics. Tapos, ang APA nga table, tulurag yun na siya ka horizontal lines. If you notice, wala siya vertical lines there. Tulo ka horizontal lines. Kanina, upat lang ni siya kay gi-separate na ko ning sa kuan ni sa heading na to sa table here, gi-separate na ko ang using 7 inquiry based approach and the conventional method. So acceptable ra ni siya nga another line is drawn which becomes 4 horizontal lines. Take note of this ha. Take note of this. Ang dali di ay just a little bit of kanang introduction on how to draw tables with only 3 horizontal lines. Sige, let me just demonstrate para dili mo maignorante. Ang pinakadali ana niya ha, assuming na ako'y table diri, insert table ako, insert table, tapos say kani say this one. Let me just quickly demonstrate how to draw tables with only 3 horizontal lines. So assuming this is your table, tapos you only want to have 3 horizontal lines, tapos kani imong mga heading, heading 1, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kani ang heading sa imong table, you only want to have 3 horizontal lines, di ba? Naman ni siya vertical lines. How do you do it? Okay, everybody, eyes on my screen. You just click this one. Kani nga table, i-click na siya. Tapos naka-highlight na ang table mismo. After highlighting the table, you only have to click this one, the borders. Kaning border nga icon here on the tab. I-click ning arrow down. Then you choose no border. Choose no border. Ano? Ini-click nimo sa no border. If you notice, wala na siya mga linya. Wala na yung mga horizontal lines o vertical lines. So, i-draw na din nato manually ang mga horizontal lines. So, balik nimo click dito ang border. Tapos, if you want a thicker line, kay mas nindot siya tanawon kung thicker ang horizontal line no, para ma-emphasize siya. Drita sa ako, balik na sa border. Tapos, adto ko sa borders and shading. Because kanang horizontal lines dia, ang default dia is 1/2 lang na siya iyang thickness. 1/2. So I'll click borders and shading. Ang width na ko nga i-choose will be 1 and 1/2. Dire kaning width. Instead of 1/2 na point, I'll set it to 1 and 1/2 to make it a little bit thicker. Nakaset na to siya 1 and 1/2. Again, balik ko diri sa borders. We are now going to draw manually the horizontal line. So how do we do it? Balik ko diri sa table na I draw table diha nga icon. Kani siya nga icon, draw table. Design your own table by drawing the cell such as a row and column borders yourself. So i-click lang nimo ning draw table. Pag click sa draw table, mugawas dining mura og lapis nga icon. I-click lang nimo once. Click once, then drag. Click once, then drag. Ayan. Again, click once, then drag. Then click once, and drag. Sige, practice na mo diya sa inyo ha. Para makabalo mo draw og table with 3 horizontal lines. Again, take two. Take two. Again, EPA table. Dapat 3 horizontal lines lang, walay vertical line. So, insert ta og table, assuming table with only 2 columns, 3 columns. Sige, insert ta table with only 3 columns. 3 by 3 table ha, ako to ang i-demonstrate. Sige, practice mo dahil iniwa. 3 by 3 table. Tapos, what is our next step? Para mas 3 horizontal lines lang ato ang table.
No border.
Okay, click nimo ni siya sa i-click sa niyo. I-click sa na i-activate sa nimo ang table itself. Tapos i-choose tong no border. Okay, choose no border. Wala na border. After that, what's the next step?
Draw table.
Draw table na ta. Nakaset naman tong 1 and 1/2 na to nga thickness diri sa borders and shading. Mo proceed na ko sa draw table. So dara ang draw table. Mugawas na ning lapis nga icon. Just click once, kung asa ka gusto mag-draw og line, click once and then drag. Click once, then drag. Click once, then drag. So that is how you make an EPA table with only 3 horizontal lines. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Sige, kamo na i-practice dag inyo ha. Ibalik na ko diri sa ato ang interpretation. Diri na ta sa ato interpretation. 26%. You look, another day sa EPA nga table, kani bitaw footnote, naka-footnote bitaw diha ang ato ang scale. Ang sa EPA nga format apod ani niya, ang naka-footnote nga text should be one font size lower than the font size in your table. So this is Times New Roman 12 man atong gigamit sa atong table. This should be Times New Roman 11. 11 dapat ato ang gamiton nga size ani niya. So inganang EPA, one font size lesser than the font size of the original text or the body of the manuscript. Ayan. So 11 ato ang gigamit sa footnote. Again, ato ta sa interpretation. I'm sorry dahil diri sa footnote, please correct this one. Nairong tanawa ning very low na to. Ang very low na to is 5% to 10%. Dapat ang absolutely no mastery na to, this should be 0 to pila ni siya dapat?
4.
0 to 4%. So i-edit na diha inyo ang scale. 0 to 4, that is absolutely no mastery. 5 to 14 is very low. 15 to 34 is low. 35 to 65 is average. 66 to 85 is moving towards mastery, then closely approximating mastery, then mastered. Asa man na fall ang 26%? To what range does it belong?
Low.
Low. Correct na ni siya. What about 81%?
Moving towards mastery, sir.
27%.
Low, sir.
Low. Then 75%.
Moving towards
Okay.
mastery.
Moving
Moving
towards
towards mastery. Same rush siya sa taas. 30% is low, correct? 68%.
moving towards
Moving towards mastery. 27.
low, sir.
Then 60 is moving towards mastery. Okay, so kompleto na itong table 1. Delete na po ni.
Average rank 60, sir.
Average ang 60, sir.
Wala siya kaabot. Average na dahil siya. Ang 35 to 65%. So this should be edited to average. Okay na, correct na itong table 1. Correct na ang table 1 or napay
Tama, sir.
tama na. So hi kayo mo, correct na yung table 1 diha kaya to anang na-review. Ganahan mo na dili.
Of course.
Tama, sir.
Ang importante is how you computed for those figures, like the formula, how you set the formula. Kana ang importante na to i-learn for this one. Okay. Proceed na ta sa table 2. Sa table 2 ang mas kuti-kuti siya i-work kay sani daghang mga indicator sa interest. For table 2, naka-separate diri ha. Table 2 is for the first trial run, level of interest, and table 3, level of interest, second trial run. Ayan. Tapos, nanatay indicator sa level of interest, 1 to 12. 12 indicators. Tapos, we only have to compute the mean and the standard deviation. Mean and standard deviation, then interpretation na dayon. So, balhin ko sa Excel. I'll stop sharing. Balhin ko sa Excel so that we'll have uniform figures. Dara nga ko ang interest diri. For the level of interest, experimental group, this is for the first trial run. We have to compute for the mean and the standard deviation here. Sige. So, nana ko sa A33 position. Sige, position sa inyo ang data para ma-review tanan. Position ko, again, this is for the level of interest, experimental group pa. This is for the experimental group first trial run. Daraw, interest 1, experimental group. So position ko sa A33, I'll click insert function, then average, then click the first data set for student number 1. Gunitan ako si shift, then click the last data. That's A3 to A32 in my Excel file. The average is 3.83. Do you have the same figure? 3.83?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then drag na rin ako dito. I-drag. So na nako'y average this is for the experimental group, first trial run. I-drag na ko dito lahos. So this is for the control group, first trial run. I-drag na po na ko dito lahos. This is for the experimental group, second trial run. Then ilahos na po dito. This is the average for the first trial run, second trial run, control group. So na nako'y average di tanan. Then balik ko dito sa original data, i-hide sa nako ni siya para dali ra ninyo makita sa inyong screen. I'll hide this one. Ayun, yan na lang ako i-hide kay mag-compute sa ko standard deviation. Okay, balik sa ko diri standard deviation. Unsa gani ako i-click to compute for the standard deviation? Insert function, then stdev. Okay, I'll click standard deviation here. Then click the first data, gunitan si shift, then click the last data. So that's A3 to A32. My standard deviation is 0.46. Do you have the same answer there?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
then drag. I-drag na ko, i-drag. Ayan. Na. Kompleto na. Then, ang next na kong buhaton is, if you notice your table number 2, di ba, naay ka ng average? Naay average sa last nga side. Okay, balik na ko sa table 2, ha? Word file. Our table number 2 is asking for the overall mean and the overall standard deviation for the experimental group and the control group. So overall mean and overall standard deviation, you just have to compute there the average. The average for the mean here and the average for the standard deviation. So i-compute pa nato na siya, meaning to say, if I'll go back to the Excel